Okay, lads. So I just want to talk about setting up the axonometric questions, okay? And the setup for these axonometric questions is the same regardless of what question you're doing. Okay, so just depending on whether you have an elevation and a plan. Okay, so this is, I have shown here, I think it's 2015 higher level question 3 axonometric. And this time we're given an elevation and an end view. Okay, just to show the difference, here is 2018. This time we're given an elevation and we're given a plan view. Okay, so depending on the view you're given will depend on what way you set this question up. Right. So probably the best thing to do these questions on is an A2 page if possible, because they do tend to be a big enough question, and you can run off the page. So setting up any of these axonometric questions, basically what we're doing is we want to create an isometric view of an object given from the two views that were given. Okay, so in this question here I want to create an isometric view of this sewing machine like this one here, and from the two given views, so from the elevation here and the end view. So just setting up this question, first thing you're going to do with any of these isometric projection questions is we're going to draw axonometric projection, and you're going to draw an equilateral triangle in the center of the page. Okay, that's if we're drawing an isometric view. Okay, now if you're studying DCG for leaving cert, it won't necessarily always be a equilateral triangle, because you could be doing different views like dimetric or trimetric. But for the purpose of junior cert tech graphics, we're always going to be doing isometric, so it's always going to be an equilateral triangle we're drawing. So we're going to go somewhere in the center of your page. Okay, so roughly in the center. Now, so I'll take somewhere here. Okay, I'm going to draw an equilateral triangle. The size of the equilateral triangle does not make a difference. Okay, but what I do say is I always keep it around 10 millimeters side length. Okay, but again, you can have it 8 or 12 if you want, but I found 10 is a good size to keep it. So I'm going to draw the base of it in. Okay, so there's my base. It's I know it's an equilateral triangle, and we know that all the angles in the equilateral triangle are 60 degrees. So I'm going to use my 60-degree set square, and I'm going to just draw in my two sides. So I can draw that one heavy, and I'll draw this in heavy. Okay, so there's my triangle drawn. Now, when we do this, we want to bisect all of the angles in the triangle in order to get the very center of that triangle. Now, it's very easy with this when we're doing an isometric view. I know this is 60 degrees. Each angle is 60 degrees. So to bisect one of these angles, I have to draw a 30-degree line. Now, I know I have a 30-degree set square, so all I have to do is line it up and draw in a line. Do the same from the far side. Okay. And I'm going to come down from the top. I'll just put this in. Now, these are going to be light kind of lines as well. I'm just doing them heavy for the purpose of the video. So this is what we're left with here now. So I basically have a triangle, an equilateral triangle, with 3 bisecting lines, and I have the very center of the triangle here. Okay. So the next step is to draw the two views that we need. So in this case, we need an elevation and we need an end view. So I need, basically what I have in the center here is these 3 lines here in the question. Okay, so these 3 lines in the question here, you see my cursor hovering over them. So I need to draw a view out coming this way to the left hand side. I need to do the same to the right hand side. Now notice that these are 15 degrees. Okay, so we don't have to use your protractor for this. Okay, so that's one thing some people get confused with. So what I'm doing is I want to bring a line out. I want to continue this line out to the left hand side. So that's going to be getting me my end view. Okay, so I'm going to continue this line straight out like this. Okay, now the distance I bring this line out, again, doesn't make a difference, okay, but I always bring it out roughly 12 millimeters or 112 centimeters, sorry, or 120 millimeters from the edge of the triangle. So see the way I have it lined up here, so 120. So I'll come out, extend that line out to around there, and I'll just mark it off. Now, that line I'm after bringing out is perpendicular to that edge of the triangle. Okay, and all I'm doing is just continuing that 30-degree line out. So the distance I brought that out was about 120 millimeters. And as I said, that distance doesn't necessarily make a difference, but 120 millimeters is a good size to make sure that nothing, to make sure that the views aren't overlapping each other when we're finished. Now, once we've that done, I want to draw a line parallel to this edge, okay, at 120 millimeters. So I know if that's a 60-degree line, that a line up here is also going to be 60 degrees. Now, that line I'm after drawing in is parallel to this edge, okay, and it's perpendicular again to the line I brought out. So once we've that done, I'm going to continue on. I'm going to just bring two lines out from the edge. So I basically want to transfer this edge out to here. Okay, now I'm going to label this triangle. I'm going to call it A, B, and C. Okay, so the line AC, I'm after bringing the line AC parallel to that edge, okay, out 120 millimeters, and I just continue it on with the bisecting line. Okay, so now we're out, and I'm going to label this just AC again, okay, just this for the purpose of the video. Now, to get this 15-degree line in here, okay, what we need to do is I need to draw a semicircle with a radius, a semicircle with a diameter AC. Okay, now if I bring this line out, if everything lines up, this point here should be the bisecting line of that bisecting point of that line. So just match it up, get around, and we see that it's lining up perfectly. So I'm going to draw in a semicircle like this. Now, so once I have that semicircle drawn, if I join the point A to here, okay, and join this point back, this section here, this line here is going to be a 15-degree angle like in our question. Okay, so just to show you, if I was to draw a vertical line straight up there, okay, and if I was to measure the angle in that, so I'll just zoom in, okay, we see, that the angle we're getting is exactly 15 degrees, okay, and that's what we need in our question. Okay, so that's that view drawn. Now, so that's if we need an end view, which we do in this question. If we need an elevation view, okay, which is going to the other side, you're going to do the exact same principle. So I'm going to continue my line from this side out. I'm going to mark it out. I'm going to come 120 millimeters, and I'm going to draw a line parallel to this edge. I'm going to continue the line AB in this case out. Okay, once you've that done, we're going to, once we've that done, sorry, I just might just lower the, okay, so once we've that done, we're going to draw in the semicircle. Okay, so it should line up like this. Once we've that semicircle in, you're going to draw these two points to here. Okay, and that's going to give me the 15-degree line we need for the elevation view. Okay, and that's on the right hand side. We see this angle in here is 15 degrees. Okay, and we said that this here is 120 millimeters out. This line here and this line here are parallel. Okay, so they're never touching, and this line here, okay, and these are perpendicular, so they're at 90 degrees to each other, like so. Now, so that's fine if we want the elevation and the end view, but just say for example we wanted the plan view, like in this question here. Now we notice in the plan view it's at 45 degrees rather than 15 degrees. Okay. So if we want to get the plan view, we're going to do the exact same thing. Okay, so we're going to come out, we're going to extend this line out here. Now I want to come out 1200 millimeters or 1220 millimeters. So I'm going to come out and I'm going to mark off 120 and I'll bring that line straight across. Okay, I want to extend these two distances down, so I'm going to extend, so the line BC, I want to transfer that down. So now I have the line CB. Okay, so I'm after just basically moving this directly down below. It's 120 millimeters in between it. Okay, like this. Now you're going to do the exact same thing as before. You're going to get that center point. You're going to bisect the line, or no, sorry, you're going to get the center point and you're going to draw a semicircle. Okay. Now, just to show, just for one thing, if it's a thing, everything should line up. But if it's not, if your center point is a little bit off, you can just basically bisect that line either. Okay, so I'm just going to line these up. Okay. Like that. Now, where this line intersects point C, where this line intersects the semicircle, you're going to draw that back to point C. And you're going to do the same back to point B. Okay. Now, for the plan view, we know it's 45 degrees. So just to show you that that is 45 degrees, if I was to draw in a vertical line here, okay, we see that that angle there, and here's my 45 degree set square, is 45 degrees, and that sets the plan view up if you need to draw in a plan view. Okay, but generally in your question you're only going to have to draw 2 of these different views, but that's how you set up to get the 3 different views. Okay.